Get ready. Hey, we are live for Financial Fitness Friday. This is the first Financial Fitness Friday in 25. So welcome, Dave. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody out there. What is up?
Yeah, I mean this is an exciting point because this is when everyone's plans are still fresh in their mind. Everyone's still making their commitments to go to the gym every day, although most people have dropped by now. It's sad. Uh, I personally started 75 hard because I know the run that I have to go on right now, and it's pretty epic. The amount of stuff that I have to get done in Q1, but I want to like lend a talk to about cautious optimism, right? Uh, Into 25, and cautious optimism is this, right? We just came out of a 4 year stretch that was very difficult for most people. All right. The reality is there's a lot of optimism about what the markets are going to do, what the economy is going to do. And we're starting to see that. But the underlying market conditions, how the economy is doing now, that isn't going to change overnight, right? So, right now, we have a lot of optimism. And it's kind of cool that it's lining up with the new year and the election cycle, obviously. So, everyone is pretty optimistic about what we're going to be doing and the amount of stuff that we have to tackle over the next, call it, 4 years, right? Your business is the same. You make these plans today, or you made them last week, or you made them, at the end of Q4, and now it takes time to implement, right? It takes time to implement, and then those changes they don't always work right away. All right. So, you guys, a lot of you guys that are taking on a lot of initiatives in your business, what I want you guys to focus on is the process, right? I'll give you an example. We've been building out AI just for the front end to help with helping clients up front. Okay, this is a project we started last year, and we're going to start rolling out this quarter. I do not anticipate any real results from this, right? And I don't, because it's going to take time to test, it's going to take time to optimize, and I have to be realistic about that. That doesn't mean I don't want it done yesterday. Okay. Every single initiative that I have, right, I would like done yesterday, but we only have so many resources to tackle them. So then you have to pick and choose. All right. So this is where it comes in if you're a business owner. It also comes into your personal goals, because your personal goals work just like this, guys. So if you're watching this and you don't own a business, your personal goals are going to function the same way. Think about it. We always talk about savings and investing and having all those accounts broken out. That's not going to change. You're going to start if you start that in January, you're really not going to see any type of real results until probably 6 months in, 7 months in. All right. So, in this time of year, focus on the process, focus on the daily actions that you have to take to accomplish these goals, and then measure and see what's working, what isn't. Do more of what's working, less of what isn't. It's really not that complicated. I'm not trying to overly simplify a complex process. I really don't think it is that complex. Most of us make it way more difficult than it has to be, right? Most of us do a lot of mental masturbation over how to do something for no, I'm serious. Most of us have these periods where we just go through and we think about how to plan something out, and we spend more time thinking about it and not actually doing it, right? Where if you can get to, all right, I'm going to just test this. This worked or didn't work. All right, now I'm going to test it and change this. Okay. What I'm saying is more action, more trial and error, less planning. All right. Because the planning phase is, while it's great and it's important, it can also get in the way of doing the real work. Right. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I just love your word choice, man. That's kind of what I'm chuckling at, you know. But I mean, yeah, man, you're spot on. I mean, stick to those tasks. You know what I mean? If you have that plan, if you're pushing through, that's a main reason why people are already emptying out the gym already. They don't see it through to the end. They don't put a long enough timeline, a long enough deadline on it for themselves to see those targets through. I mean, I think we've talked about on the last 3 or 4 shows, discipline and habits. That's going to get you through as well. It's no different how those things apply to starting out already within this year. And perfect thing to add to that is, yes, give it time. 3 months, 6 months, put that timestamp on it. Like I just said, it's people quit too far in the beginning to not see things through, especially like with a new project. Like you're saying, we're working on some different things too, within the ad space. So now you also not have to forget what got you there as well. And I think a lot of people get kind of shiny object syndrome. Hey, I got a new project, I got a new task. And then they forget about what got you there, keeping it simple. Like you said, okay, well, I have this new shiny thing. So now all my attention goes away from the things that got us there. And then now we're losing steam on that side. So I think it's important to not lose focus on the simple things, on those day-to-days, on the A to Z side of the beginning as to what got you there. And I really think that's important too. Look, we're guilty of it too. Like we've done it a couple times and it's like, oh shit, we're losing some steam over here. We got to get some attention back on here. Why we still focus and build these projects over here.
Yeah. I mean, listen, attention focus is a superpower. Okay. Mm-hmm. And as an operator, as an owner, right, you have to direct the company's resources to get the biggest return. That's your job. Yep. Okay. And sometimes sifting through what priorities are and what they aren't is very, very difficult. It's something that I personally struggle with. Like right now, we're trying to optimize the campaign. I'm actually debating whether we hire an outside agency to do it, to speed it up, and then let my marketing team work on the AI, right? And those are decisions, literally, these are the decisions that can make or break a month or a quarter, right? If I pull back on the AI project and it gets delayed a quarter and that thing could have taken off, well, I miss out on 3 months of really, really solid revenue, right? However, if I push the AI and I don't put up these new ad campaigns, well, we're going to be light for the next, 6 weeks while we get this on. So how do you make those decisions? And a lot of it is trial and error. There's no right answer. You have to make an educated guess, right? And these are like the tougher things. But here's the thing. If you stick with it, right? If I just try one ad campaign, that's never going to work. You're just going to set it up and it's probably going to lose money. You have to sit there and optimize it and troubleshoot with that campaign until it's up and functioning and profitable, right? That takes time, it takes resources, and it takes capital. All right. These are all assets that a company has. All right. Time, capital, and people. You have to make those decisions and you have to stick with them, right? Because the worst thing you could do is spend assets and resources in something and get no return, right? So it's a constant balancing act. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys, the ones that can juggle the most effectively without keeping your eye, without taking your eye off any of the projects that you have going is going to work. But you also have to prioritize those projects, because if you open 2, 3, or 4, right, what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of half done shit by the end of Q1, and you're going to be struggling and you're going to be stressed and crazy. Okay. So that's why you have to prioritize. So think about it this way. If there's one thing to focus on, is focus on the process, focus on that delayed gratification, but really prioritize your resources and your assets to get the highest return. Okay. And that goes for your personal goals too, right? Like if you know that you have you have a career path choice, you have one that you can have higher earning potential, but it's going to take time to build up, or you have something that's steady. Okay. What's going to fit your goals more? Is it the place that you can really build a very lucrative career, but it's going to take time? Or do you prefer the steadiness and the predictability of something, right? If you're looking at it from a personal choice standpoint. All right. So these are just things to consider, guys. I hope you guys lock in 25 and crush it. Dave, you got anything else?
Yeah, just the last thing that you got to take is you got to take action. Obviously, that simple little quote: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Mm-hmm. Crazy as it sounds, but don't be a deer in headlights, man. Don't, like you said, mental masturbation. Don't get caught thinking about it. Just do it, man. Don't think.
Yeah, that works out real well for me.
I'm sure.
All right, guys. Listen, hey, I hope you guys are crushing 25. Appreciate you. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. Take care.
Be great, y'all.